beer review. I'm in Brittany, France still for a few more days, and I thought I'd try to knock out another beer review on one of their regional beers. This actually came from Normandy. I got to keep it down where I'm at. But what we have here is La CHARNUE, which means, translated, the fullness. Fullness, like the thick, meaty. But if you read the top in French, I'm not really good at French, but Biere de gustation. Biere de gustation. La CHARNUE. Biere de gustation, La CHARNUE IPA. And you put all that together, they're trying to say the beer with the full taste. La CHARNUE IPA. I'm not making this up. I've drank some beers here in Brittany, and Brittany is loyal to Brittany. Most of the beers you'll find for sale in Brittany are brewed in Brittany. Brittany, which is western part of France, with its own Celtic heritage that they're proud of. So they brew their own beers, their own ciders, their wines, and they pretty much, they don't carry. I couldn't find a single bottle of Guinness anywhere here, or any Anheuser-Busch stuff. I did find Brooklyn, New York IPA at one place, but it's almost all exclusively Brittany's beers here. Now, I haven't had this, and my French is limited. So if I would have read the back here before I bought it at the store here, I'm staying in Dinan, France, I would have realized that they put water, of course, hops, of course, I don't know what type, barley malt, okay, a little wheat malt, they tell you the ingredients, and orange peel. You know, as a traditionalist, I generally stay away from beers with things like that. But we're going to take a shot at this expensive looking bottle of beer, which is actually quite cheap. Well, I paid a little over €3 for this, so it's about $3.50 for this big cork bottle of beer. I mean, it's fancy. And a lot of their beers come packaged like this, like a great big liter cork bottle. So, like I said, it's brewed in Normandy. I don't think it's a very old brewery. Honestly, their ciders here are the thing. And I hope to do a cider, because I can't bring any of it back, but the ciders here in Brittany are exceptional. And I've got to keep it down right now. Sorry, I'm hush-hush. I just spent the day, a long day at Cancale on the seaside, where I thought it'd be worth going there to try out their oysters. For some reason, I thought they'd be cooked. They were not. So, raw oysters at Cancale, which is by St. Malo on the northern shore of Brittany. So let's open this up. Oof. Try to open this up. Not sure how to go about it. That's how you do it. $3.50. And whoever said that everything's expensive here told me I've been hearing that food's wicked. It's not. It's actually, I think, a little cheaper than where I'm at in New York. And the people, if anything, are a little nicer. I wouldn't say they go out of their way nice, but they're not the arrogant people that everybody was assuring me I would run into. There's a few in every group. They've got their problems, but they're pretty nice people, all in all. I don't smell anything. I do actually. I smell hops, sweet, maybe the orange peel. haven't been overly impressed with their beers, though they do have some good ones. Lancelot, their beers are good. Some of the other ones are, none of them were bad. Some of them are okay. I haven't had all of them by a long shot, so there it is. It's obviously filtered. Kind of an amber orange color. Try to make this quick. I've got to talk hush hush. People in this house trying to sleep. Biere de degustation. Degustation. That means how it tastes. Biere degustation la CHARNUE IPA. The beer with the full taste. IPA. I'm not making this up. Yeah, that's not bad. Honestly, that's not bad. It's not for the price. I can't even buy a pint of Guinness for this price. I taste, it's full-bodied. I don't taste any orange peel. I don't think I do. I taste the hops, which seem to be pretty well balanced. 7% alcohol, this beer. That's according to the label. .75 centiliters. Pretty good. I just learned today that Gordon Lightfoot, the Canadian musician, passed away May 1st while I was over here out of touch. I really liked his music, so Godspeed, Gordon Lightfoot. Godspeed. This place, I'm going to do a review on Denon when I get back to New York. You know, just a kind of a slideshow of all the photographs. I took a lot, probably 1,000. And I'm just going to talk about it. I'm really quite impressed with this place. Quite. Denon, where I'm at. And, you know, there's a lot of quaint photographs of the sea, of old buildings. There's some really beautiful country homes here that, oh my God. Chateaus and just old rustic stone farms. But they also have their share of modern stuff and giant like plazas and malls. And, you know, they keep their historic sections historic. They're very careful about that. And you won't see any riffraff wandering around. Usually the historic sections. You get out of the historic sections and it's not bad. It's pretty clean here. But it's not all quaint. You know, after driving out of St. Malo, driving out of Denon, it's beautiful here. I mean, Denon right now, my main pilgrimage was to St. Malo, but I like Denon much better. Denon's supposed to be a smaller attraction removed from the sea, and I think because it was removed, it doesn't have as many tourists here. Internationals, French. People come here. The next group would be English. Probably 5% of the non-French are English. And every now and then you meet an American. And a few Asians. And I met a German guy, Germans occasionally. Denon's a nice, really nice little city. I mean, it's got its problems. To me, it seems to have everything. Very nice. And the people here actually are, for the most part, extremely helpful and polite. And they will try to accommodate your English. Show them a little courtesy. Merci, bonjour, au revoir, and a smile goes a long ways here. Merci, thanks. Bonjour, hello, good day. Au revoir, pretty much equivalent of bye, have a nice day. Just common courtesies, different language. And I screwed up, I messed it up. The other day, I was getting out of the rain, and I got up underneath this old building. They had like a overhang, like cafe where people were sitting at tables. And I'm standing there. And this woman about my, I'd say old woman, but a woman about my age, she comes in to get out of the rain next to me. And I confused my bonjour, good day, hello, with au revoir, goodbye. And she comes in, she goes, and I was getting ready to leave anyway, I was leaving. But she goes, bonjour, and I go, au revoir, and I walk off. And I realized, she's like, hello, and I'm like, bye, and I walk off. Oh my God, if I come here again, and I hope to, that's how much I like it here. I really like it here. I am definitely going to apply myself at French a lot harder, because you can get by with a little English because they will help you out. They'll try to accommodate your English with what little they know. But it's really hamstrung me in ways. Like I've been hanging out at this place called the Celtic Club. The Celtic Bar, Celtic Club. It's really a restaurant, bar, and a cafe all in one. Food, coffee, and beer, and cider, and wine. I've been hanging out there a lot, and I kind of got to know the people that run the place and work there. And today they're trying to really get friendly with me and shake my hand and what do you think of this place? And between their poor English and my poor French, we didn't get anywhere, but I did smile and shake their hand, and so I told them I liked it. But it's frustrating not to be able to talk to people. I haven't met any French people here that I would say are fluent English speakers. Most of them are functional. Some of them don't speak any English at all. A lot of them claim to know English, but they don't. Other than they're about as good at English as I am French. So I think that's a mixed blessing, because that's kind of what keeps foreigners away from here. It's not really, it's a tourist attraction, but tourists to French people, mostly. That German man I met today, he's 76, pensioner. I met him yesterday, met him again today. We agreed to meet, and we're supposed to meet just to talk about God and things and have a drink and some food at the Celtic Club. And he said he comes here because it reminds him of his town in Germany before it got overrun with mosque and immigration. It just changed the whole flavor of the place. So it kind of takes him back to other days. This place is, well, I'll do a review of this place. This beer is pretty good. I didn't think it would be for the price. A little over about $3.50 for this big cork bottle. And yeah, I brought my Simon Pierce mug just to do beer reviews, all the way from New York State. I didn't really bring much here. I mean, the airlines let me on the airline first for being a retired military, Delta Airlines, which I thought was nice. And they allow you more. Delta Airlines honors the veterans. But I didn't bring much because they said you're allowed 19 inches by 21 inches by 9 inches carry-on. I bring a couple changes of clothes, some socks, a gift for people, and toiletries in this beer mug and my flute. Could have brought a lot more. That's part of the trip review. I've got some fantastic stories and pictures. And I still have a lot of spiritual stuff to talk about. That's one thing I don't understand. I mean, this town is so old, this city. My backyard, honestly, if you walk in my backyard, it's all stone wall that drops right off, like 75, 100 feet drop. It was built in the 13th century to keep the English who were invading here. I wonder how many people died there in battles and right in my backyard. Trying to scale those walls, there's like, in the walls, there's like arrow places, and this is like a giant fortress city from the medieval days. And my understanding is the English never took this town. So there's a lot of fighting here, and all the other things that went on in their history, painful things. But now it's just people really getting by with their lives peacefully for the most part. Hope it stays that way. Biere de gustation la CHARNUE IPA. It does have a full taste, they are right. This is an IPA that's full-bodied. I would never know there was orange peel in this. It's got hops in it, I can taste that. It's full-bodied, 7% alcohol. Nice cool bottle that I'm going to recycle. Pretty good head on it. Definitely not the best IPA I've had, but it's definitely not the worst IPA I've ever had either. So, this is a cool little town. If you can brave the French language, I'm going to miss this town. I can already tell. I got 3 more days here. I'm going to miss it. One of the best things here. I paid a little over $1 at the local I forgot how to say bakery. I'm really terrible at French. But this baguettes, you know, you can tell they cook this in a really hot oven. You know, a little over $1 for this, which is really a staple to their daily meal. Is these things. These things are really good. You can't get this anywhere that I know of in central New York. This is what they call traditional, or tradition. And I love this. You know, you cut them up with a little bit of meat and butter and cheese and maybe some lettuce. There aren't any fast food restaurants here. And I asked somebody, there's cafe, espresso places everywhere. I'm talking about this place anyway. And I asked somebody, man, I should bring like a New York coffee idea where you get your espresso, like your coffee, like a latte, an iced latte, and a cup to go that lasts you half the day. And, you know, like you got in New York, where I can buy a great big cup of iced latte or whatever, Americano, cappuccino. And they said, no. I said, why not? It would hit. No, you don't understand. They're cafes. When you take your little double or double, or double, you know, it's a social thing. It's not like these people are commuting to work. You know, they're walking. It's like the whole idea behind espresso here is to sit and chill out and just have your coffee and either think or socialize. They said it would never go here. I think they know what they're talking about. think I'm going to really miss this place. I'll be all right. I've got business. I got to take care of my dog. I'm mostly missing my dog. My daughter Ann wants to come here in the worst way. She would like it. Chocolates. I see, I'm not into candy. But if you're into chocolates and stuff, bakeries with all the most elaborate sweets and pastries served with coffee, with whipped cream and stuff all over it, and fancy stuff in a fancy cup for honestly very little money. It's not expensive. The most fancy places in these mansions, mansion, that you think you would be paying, like in America, to have your lunch in these really fancy looking places, historical. And it's like under $20 for 2 people to eat lunch with espresso. It's not that expensive. I mean, and the people aren't arrogant either. They're not. You might bump into one here and there. I got a story, I'll tell it, about the man, I liked him, the waiter. I think he was trying to be funny, but I didn't get his humor at all. Where are you from? I'm from New York. Oh. I said, yeah, I live in a small town in New York. I hear it's very ugly there. I'm like, I don't get your humor. I said, no, it's a very beautiful state. The politics are ugly. The state's beautiful. And I said, oh, yeah. You know, his English wasn't good, so he's like just trying to go along. If you ever want to come to Danang, on my recommendation, learn some French, as hard as it might be. Learn some French, and if you can't learn anything at all just to get by here, merci, bonjour, au revoir. Thank you, hello, and goodbye, have a good day. With every business transaction or meeting, that's kind of mandatory, or they're going to think you're a rude person. They're pretty formal people. They're very laid back, but they're actually very formal people here in that regard. And bonsoir. Bonsoir is good evening. You hear that? Ça va? Ça va? How are you doing? And that's the other thing. Bonsoir, ça va? Good evening, how are you? And they say that. Even the crude people here say that. You don't have to like be equestrian. It's courtesy here. So if they say, bonsoir, ça va, to me, I say, ça va, back. And that means, I'm doing good. Ça va? How are you? Ça va? Good too. So it's kind of funny. I've had a good time here. Honestly, I will say that I am ready to get back to New York in ways because I have things to do. But all right, I really enjoyed my time here for the most part. I haven't slept well here, but I'm all right. Didn't have too great a day. Went to Cancun. Thought I would. It was a pilgrimage. I said, I'm going to eat the oysters. Because it wasn't that far from here on the sea. I said, it's the oyster capital of the world. I like oysters. Oyster stew, oyster soup, cooked oysters. Never thought I was going to be eating raw oysters. Like, yeah, I made a video about that. I think if I lived around here, I would go to Cancun, get the oysters on Christmas night, like my mother always did. She always made oyster soup. And she was like, it was a huge part of her Christmas tradition, was oyster soup on Christmas night. So, yeah, to sit there and pry the shell open and eat them out of the shell, watch the video. I ate a few on the pier. I think coming here, this is good IPA. I'll just say that, all right? If you get a chance to buy Biere de gustation, Charnue, La Charnue. I had a French person pronounce this for me before I made the video. Then they said La Charnue. And I said, Charnue. No. Charnue. I said, Charnue. That's the thing. No matter how hard I try to speak French, they know I'm not French. I'd have to be here a long time to totally get the inflection and all the language to where I sounded like I might be local. Oh well. What was I saying? Yeah, my mom ate oysters soup. At any rate, it's been a very, very long day for me. A lot of walk. I've seen a couple of fat people. Sorry, no offense, I'm fat. But most people here are quite thin, and their meal portions are a lot smaller, and they walk a lot. Things I don't like about here, I'm not saying it's like, there are things I don't like about here. It's been probably one of the most interesting trips I've ever had. I still got to get through and get home. The job's not done yet. It's like I treat these things like a military mission. Plan it out, execution of the mission. Leave. Step 1, leave. Step 2, arrive. Get through customs, which is nothing here, which is step 3, enjoy yourself. Step 4, leave here. Step 5, get home. So, I'm not there yet, but I guess this is just a chat in English with people that speak English. The only English people I've met, speaking people here I've met, the German guy spoke good English, very good English. And we're other English people from England, which are very few. This is good beer. And I've wanted a beer for a while. I haven't had one for a while. Today was a long day. Started out catching the bus in the morning to St. Malo, 45 minutes north of here to the seaside. And from St. Malo, waited around, caught the bus to Cancale, which was about another 45 minutes, not because of distance, but a lot of stops. Cancale, walked down this big hill to the ocean, and it started raining. And I made a video about that. So, back up, it's been a long day. Then I wound up back in St. Malo for a while. Then wound up, I met the German guy at 8 o'clock at the Celtic bar, because I told him I would meet him there. He's a really nice, very interesting man, lonely person. Talked about his wife that died and his children and their struggles in life, and a lot about politics, which I'm uncomfortable talking about. I really didn't have much to say. And we talk about God and mortality and right from wrong and things like that. Very deep thinking person. His father was a Nazi. He served in the German army, World War II. And he was very screwed up from that, and he had a difficult childhood as a result. And then so forth. And visited with him for a while. Very good guy. His name was Ugo, first name. Very intelligent person, deep thinking, but yeah, just people. And yeah, at any rate, been a long day. So this has been surprisingly good. I really wasn't expecting it to be this good. You know, it comes in a fancy bottle with wired in cork, and you think it's going to be really special. I've had a few of them like this that really weren't that good, but this one is. It's pretty good. Pretty cool. Personally, I think a pretty cool bottle. You don't see this in America. So yeah, if you can get your hands on a bottle of Biere de gustation, la CHARNUE IPA, your $3.50 have been well spent, as far as I'm concerned. It's a double thumbs up. One thumbs up because it's pretty good IPA, and it's still not flat. Good lacing on it, good color. Another thumbs up because it is cheap. It's cheap beer by American standards. I hate talking hushed up like this, but I have to. I want to make these beer reviews, but people in this house, you can't hear through the stone walls, but you can hear through everything else, and people are trying to sleep, and they're not all night owls like I am. You know, it's pretty good beer, honestly. I haven't yet to have a beer. I take that back. The Lancelot beer that I did a review on, that was very good beer. And I've had their Morgan. I said Morgan Le Fay from the King Arthur saga. That was also a very good beer. I'm not going to do a review on that, but that was from, I had that in a bar. It was very good. It was the same brewers from Lancelot. Now I have another beer by the Lancelot group, and I'll hope to do that tomorrow night. But I expect it's going to be very good as well. But the other beers, okay. This one's good. This is a good beer. Brewed in Normandy. I looked it up. And being a World War II buff of sorts, and my old paratrooper unit having served on D-Day and jumping behind, the 82nd Airborne, I recognized a lot of the names around where this beer is brewed as historical battle sites. But it's like somebody told me, they said, are you going to go to the D-Day site while you're here? I said, I don't want to see that. I don't want to see it. I'm hearing people talking. I don't know if it's ghosts or people in the bar. I think it's people in the bar. Or people upstairs. You can't hear through these walls. It's crypt quiet. But the rest of it, yeah, I'm just keeping it quiet. But it's like somebody told me, they fought over this continent always. You can't go anywhere in Europe where somebody hasn't waged a war throughout history. And that is so sad, but true. Because this is really a beautiful continent, Europe, and Britain off of it. But Europe is a beautiful continent with a very, very bloody history, which is sad. So no, I'm not going to the D-Day site. One, it's too far. I don't have enough time. It's not that far from here, honestly. But I don't have a car. I gotta use buses. And two, I just don't want to go anywhere. Those kind of, you know, heck with war. I don't subscribe to war. I know I retired from the Army. I think having served in the Army, like a lot of people I know that served in the Army, instilled in me a distaste for war. And take that as you may. This is good beer. If you ever come to Brittany, I think it's the only place you're going to find this. This is a good one. $3.50 now. You can't go wrong if you like your beer. One's pretty good. If it were in America, if this was in New York, this would still be a good IPA. It would be kind of a middle of the road. But if you factor in the location and the price, just forget that. Factor in the price. If it was in New York, this would be a damn good beer. Excuse my language. Oh, it's very cheap. And it's pretty good. If you're in Normandy, you got to get what you get. The Lancelot, King Arthur series, kind of Lancelot Brewery beers that are brewed here. I've had two of them, and they're very, very good. Very good. I gotta finish this. What else to say about this beer? Now they have quite a few of them like this in these big bottles. That's kind of a common way that they sell beer in a cork bottle. Where are you going to go and you get an IPA in a cork bottle this size for $3.50 with some mysterious French verbiage on it, which I don't know. I asked somebody what this means, and that's what they said. A full taste. La Charnue. La Char, they can roll their R. La Charnue. Biere de gustation. La Charnue IPA. Gets a thumbs up from me. Double thumbs up with the price. I can't slam it. It is full. It's a full body beer. And I would never know there was orange peel in it. It tastes like your standard IPA, quite frankly. All right, I think that's it. I'm gonna wrap this timblab up and listen to some Gordon Lightfoot, who hopefully joined our eternal family not long ago, as we all will, all of us, hopefully will join our eternal family. I would say he'll be missed, but I don't think he's written and performed it. You know, he had his day. Then he lived a full life and he moved on. So, thanks for the music. Godspeed. Get this beer if you can get it. Good luck getting it, unless you're in Brittany, France. Let me know in the comments if you've ever scored this beer, ever. You got to be kind of off the beaten way in France to find this one. It's actually It's pretty good. Au revoir.